This is my friend Monica, or as I call her, Moni. Moni's one of the most beautiful and deeply feeling people that I know. She's so incredibly kind and honest and has the most beautiful heart. We met at a hip hop show years ago in Albuquerque while I was performing and she was selling some jewelry that she makes. And we became pretty fast friends, bonding over everything from nature hikes to food to roller skating to Alfred Hitchcock movies and even through some events together. We've supported each other through a lot, but never really bonded or talked about Black issues. And I guess I never really thought too much about it. It just wasn't how we connected. Anyway, we never talked about it until now, and understanding why wasn't something I saw coming at all. This time of being Black in America and Black in a small city is bringing up so much for so many people. And what Moni shared, just listen.
But growing up, I thought I was white. I didn't realize that I was mixed, and I knew Black people were discriminated against because I lived in the South. I lived in Birmingham. There was KKK people like at the mall, like in the parking lot. Like that was normal. It's freedom of speech. So they had megaphones, and I knew I was different because a lot of people let me know that I was different. I definitely would be called a cracker and within the same day, or yellow belly or yellow foot, or they have a lot of weird things that they can say in the South. So I knew I was different, but when I looked in the mirror, I saw a white person.
So even though some people may have saw you as Black, you didn't see yourself that way.
I think most of my life, everyone has seen me as Black. So the way that I've seen myself and the way that other people perceive me have been at odds for a long part of my life.
And has that changed? Has that changed?
It's changed. I've reflected on it.
Which changed?
Well,
how did you find that reflection?
What really prompted it was George Floyd, actually. And I just tried to bury my feelings. And then India Palace got vandalized. And that triggered something in me. I started to feel scared. I didn't have any imminent threat, but I just started to feel scared because of the color of my skin, that there's people out there in my nice little mountain town that hate me, that don't want me to be safe, that don't like me just because of my phenotype shade. So I started to get scared, and I started to really reflect on all of the experiences that I have had growing up in the South. And I started to reflect about my own concepts of Black people. And I realized that I would feel more safe if two people were like in an alleyway. Well, if one of them was Black and one of them was white and they were wearing the exact same thing, I think I'd be more scared of the Black person and not the white person. But anytime I've been molested, had a knife pulled on me, head-butted, stabbed, a lot of things have happened. It's all been from white people. So why am I more scared of the Black person than the white person?
And why?
These are all things that I've been reflecting on, but it's this cultural poisoning. And so I just started to really think about a lot of my experiences. And I realized that I am Black. It took a while, but it took like over 35 years for me to be able to say that I'm a Black person. But I've had a lot of, a couple years ago, I had a friend that said, he's like, you'd be great with my friend Adam. He's like, and maybe, and I was like, sure, I'll meet him. And then he came back and he was like, yeah, I was describing you to him, and he said he doesn't date Black girls. And I just remember thinking, I'm not Black. Like I still, like it just never clicked. Over and over, I've had the chance to have it click in my head, but
why right now is all this coming up? Like there's been countless other black
Yeah, there have.
murders. So what do you think it is about this time that's made you kind of come into this realization?
Because at this time I really tried to detach myself from it and not be a part of it. I didn't want to hear about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about a census death over and over and all the details that go along with it. It hurt me. I didn't want to, and I just kept pushing and pushing my emotions down so much that, as with anything that isn't addressed, it became even more and more prevalent, to the point where I was having flashbacks of things that I don't think I've ever even thought about them since they happened. Because I was so arrogant growing up. I was me, and I was fearlessly me, and it didn't matter what they thought, anyone thought.
Yeah.
So I couldn't hear as well. I couldn't listen. I couldn't observe as well. So this time I started just having a lot of flashbacks, and realizing that I've been hurt a lot by white folk, and I started to identify with it. I've been held down in the street, you know?
Yeah.
I've been pulled over for not doing anything wrong and cuffed on the side of the street while they searched my car. I just allowed myself to explore some things that had happened to me that I had brushed off as it being their problem and not my problem, but it was my problem.
Yeah, it's always been a trip knowing you, Mani, because and a lot of the way that the thing that I've always been really I don't know if impressed is the right word, is like that you've been free from this for so long, right? To understand that that you're getting pulled over for this reason, and you might not be this, or you might not be safe because of this, and like anything can happen just because of the color of your skin, right? And so the way that I've seen you is you've kind of been unbothered by this for a while.
I have.
Where like, I'd see you when we'd talk, and I'd be like, wow, like that's really not going on with Mani.
I don't know if I'm ashamed to admit this or not, but you're my first black friend, I guess, and I would probably say only. That doesn't feel right. It's not like I haven't, known. I just haven't had friends that I like go to their house and hang out and do things.
And with white people, like that's never a problem. That's never been a problem with you. Or like, how about Japanese folks, or like, anybody else? Like,
no, I don't know.
Is it specifically not black? Is it specifically black? Everybody else has been.
Yeah. Yeah, my
easy?
best friend Atlanta was from China. So.
Tell me about the how you fill out this census form.
Yeah, I had a turning point, and I actually don't know if I would have done the census, but I was in my front yard, and this random lady like got out of her car and gave me this little like census packet, and it sat there for a really long time, and I was like, I don't want to be some cattle. I'm not some cattle to be counted,
Right.
Yeah. But I didn't throw it away, and so I opened it up and I started to fill it out, and it only allows you to choose one race, or maybe it says ethnicity and race, and it didn't even have that many on there. There might have been like 5. And this is like this is a federal survey, so I've had standardized testing where you can choose more than one race, and I have had some where you can't, like the SATs and stuff like that. They're just like mark 1. And I really had to reflect on who I was, and so all of that kind of prepared me to recognize that I am a black person. I'm a black person in America. I'm a black American. I was born that way. And after I filled out myself as black, I realized that I was black. and I'd always been black, and I love being black, and I felt beautiful, and I've always been a beautiful black woman. You know, I think we all have our moments where we don't feel beautiful, we don't feel special, we feel alone, we feel unloved, talentless, whatever it is. But I have just been really blessed to always feel loved, whether it's by a dragonfly or my mom or a stranger on the street just being nice, you know, like complimenting you on your clothes or something. People are nice to me. I haven't, you know, and not always, but yeah, I've had some really hard times, but the amass of it is that I'm so proud to be who I am. I'm so proud to be a person of color. So I don't understand why I just haven't computed in my mind and admitted to myself and spoken out loud and proclaimed that I am. And now that I have, I see things a little bit differently than I did when I was just kind of like skipping around just being me. Right. Comments, you know, I have a white partner, and so comments that I don't think would have bothered me a month ago before I filled out the census and kind of took on this new identity does. I'm a little bit more sensitive, yeah.
How are you processing all this? Like how are you taking care of yourself? Because this is a lot.
I'm trying to remind myself every day that I'm a black person, which it's just the process that I'm in right now. I know that sounds maybe kind of silly, but it's just where I'm at with the process is that I'm reminding myself that I am black every day, more than once a day usually, and I haven't really told anyone. I told my neighbor Sam, but he's just like, well, my black neighbor is just so sweet, and, you know, he doesn't care. He just makes jokes about it, and so I haven't really told anyone.
You feel like it's like a coming out?
It's something that's I'm holding inside and evaluating inside and reflecting on inside as situations come up, because it's so new to me that I don't know how I'm processing it, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to speak about it, because it's important for me to be able to say it, know it, love it, breathe it, be it, you know, and not hold back with that.
Do you think like the negative stereotypes of black people kind of have kept you from coming to this earlier? Like just the way that black people are seen in this society, how media has kind of portrayed us for so long?
That's a good point. Yes. Yeah. To be poor means you're unworthy. To be black means that you're less than or discriminated against, and you don't have as many opportunities, or you're going to have to fight harder, or so I think that has. Sometimes I felt like I'm like an animal at a petting zoo or something. Like it's just like ridiculous. Like people trying to take pictures of you in the grocery store. You're like, I'm grocery shopping.
Right.
Like erase it. Like that's not cool.
Like just
just like chill. Like I'm like white people like taking pictures. Like they're at an attraction, like a tourist attraction. Like it's seriously, it's happened more than once.
And why do they say that they're doing that?
They just say they're sorry, and they never. But yeah, I mean, my hair has always been commented upon. People even, I like, oh, your skin is so pretty and stuff like that, which is a compliment, right? It's a compliment, but it's the way they say it that makes you feel like, rather than a compliment, it's a don't know, like trying to relate or something. I'm not sure if they're just trying to, oh, I have a cousin that, and then you're like, okay, well, I got a bunch of white people in my family, but you don't see me talking about that to try to relate to you, like,
Yeah.
why are you trying to relate to me through my color of my skin or the type of hair I have, or
Yeah. The thing I've gotten a lot in this town is I'll be DJing and somebody white will come up to me and be like, these white people don't know nothing about this music, and it's like,
okay,
okay, like, and them just being like,
I think that's pretty cute.
I'm from whatever city, and these white people don't know nothing about this, and I'm just like everyone's dancing and having a good time. Like, why do you feel the need to tell me any of this? I mean, also I see you trying to relate, right? I see you trying to relate.
That's how you have to take it. That's how I've always taken it, is that people have different ways of loving. People were loved different ways, and they have different ways of expressing love. And to expect someone to express love the way we want them to express love, because it can be making a bed, it can be holding the door for someone, it can be smiling, it can be giving a compliment. So if we try to add our own cultural mind-washing shit into, which might be true because we feel that way, it's not trying to invalidate a feeling, but also we have to be able to step outside of ourselves. That's with anything, right? It's like, let's step away and look at it from an objective point of view. And that person's trying to give me love and be nice. They might not be doing it the most ideal way, or they might be a little ignorant on how they're delivering it, but nonetheless, they're still just trying to show you love.
Yeah.
And so we have to kind of step back from that a little bit and take a compliment, and try not to read too much into it. I'm the worst, but I don't take compliments very well. I'm like, oh, I could have done better.
Right.
It's not that, or whatever. So trying to remove ourselves from having any kind of extreme emotion on something, whether it's apathy or sympathy or anger or even love. It's like, cap it off, like you gotta cap it off at some point and kind of have a little bit of control with your emotions, because emotions are fleeting. They're always changing. They'll always change. They're fluctuating every moment. I feel in a day, like so much, so many different things, that to just grab onto one feeling and run with it as the truth is a disservice to oneself.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you
Did
so
I do
much.
okay?
Thank you for being that open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And also, wow, welcome.
Thank you. It feels so good to be black. It feels so good.
It's such a trip.
I've never felt so good, actually.
Really?
No, I don't think I've ever felt so comfortable with who I am. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when the day is done. Now that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. And I'm feeling good, baby.